Is it worth leaving the United States to move to Panama? Some questions doesn't come as scream, but as a constant whisper. What if I leave? What if I start over somewhere else? Not as a dramatic escape or tropical whim, but as a quiet, necessary, well-thought-out decision. Sometimes it's not chaos that pushes you, it's repetition, the cost of living, the insecurity, the loneliness, or the exhaustion. That feeling that every month looks like the last, just more expensive and more hostile. And if that whisper of frustration, one name keeps showing up more and more: Panama. Thousands of Americans, Canadians, and Europeans are already making the move, not on organized tours or wearing straw hats. They are selling their homes, leaving their jobs, and starting a new life across the canal. But why Panama? When there are so many other countries with warm weather and lower costs? Why now, when for decades the relationship between both countries were tense and thousands of Americans left after handing over the canal? And what has changed in the US and in Panama that's made this small country one of the most attractive options to start again? To understand, we need to go back a bit. The US-Panama relationship isn't based on travel brochures, but on shared history. Since the construction of the Panama Canal in the early 20th centuries, the US didn't just have an economic presence, it had territorial control. For almost 70 years, the Canal Zone was an American enclave inside Panama, with its own school, healthcare, army, and flag, all on Panamanian land. Tension was inevitable until 1977, when President Jimmy Carter signed the Torrijos-Carter Treaty. The canal would return to Panama, a decision that transformed the relationship and one many believe cost Carter his re-election. What is curious on this is that decades later, many Americans are coming back, this time not as a soldier or officials, but as expats, as retirees, as everyday people looking for a simpler and more manageable life. Panama is no longer occupied territory or a gray zone. It's a sovereign country with a dollarized economy, tropical weather, stable relations with the US, and sometimes something essential: proximity. 3 hours to Miami, same time zone, no currency exchange headache, no complicated tax translations, no 14 hours flights to see your grandkids. But the real question remains: what's happening inside the US that's making so many people consider leaving? It's a mix of things. The suffocating healthcare system, the violence has been normalized, the feeling that life is not just to live, but only to survive. That's why retirement is no longer about staying still, but moving. And that's where Panama enters in the picture. Besides the proximity and familiar language, there is something else about the Pensionado program, one of the most generous retirement programs in the world. With just $1,000 of proven pension income, you can get legal residency and real discounts on healthcare, transports, restaurants, movies, theaters, hotel, utilities, and more. But that's not all. Panama's tax system only taxes income generated within the country. So, if your pension, investment, or business are abroad, you don't pay taxes here. It's not a shady tax haven. It's a clear system that lets many people live with more and keep more. Of course, it's not all sunshine and savings. Moving to Panama comes with challenges. Bureaucracy is slow, language can be a barrier outside tourist areas, and most importantly, not everyone make it. Some just think about it, others try it, some regret it, because leaving your country doesn't guarantee anything. It's just a change, a step. But for so many, it is a bet that paid off. That's why having the right information and legal support is the key. That's where the firms like NDM Law Firm and Associates comes in, helping foreigners process residency, understand the immigration system, buy properties, open bank accounts, or even start a business without costly mistakes. Because yes, living abroad also means paperwork, permits, and deadlines. And if you are going to make the move, at least start off right. When it comes to destinations, Panama has many faces. There's Panama City with its modern towers, private hospitals, and endless traffic. Boquete with cool weather, mountains, coffee, and organized expat community. Coronado if you want beach and urban proximity. Other places like Bocas del Toro for an island life, reggae vibes, and clear waters. Pedací, El Valle, Santa Fe, and more. There is a calm lifestyle for every taste. And yes, a growing expat community that makes sure you don't arrive alone. All these had led to over 25,000 Americans or more now living legally in Panama, and thousands more arriving with temporary visas, exploring if this country can be home. Some stay, others keep traveling, many consider it and never take the leap, and that's okay. Because moving abroad isn't a trend or a requirement. It's a decision that mixes emotions, numbers, personal history, and a pitch of faith. So now, I want to know from you, would you move? Would you dare to start over in another country? Drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe if you haven't already, give us a thumbs up, and as always, see you in the next one.